You say you know what you need to be doing to feel in control around food again, but you're just not doing it. You just don't have enough discipline. You just don't have enough willpower. I want to gently challenge both components. Not only do I think that you don't actually know what you need to be doing and you're actually doing things that are making it worse. I think you do have bucket loads of discipline, tons of willpower and energy. It's just being focused in the wrong direction. So what I want to do with this live today, and happy Freedom Friday, by the way, I want to just help you understand the disciplines that you do in fact need so that you can redirect your energy and your focus into the 4 counterintuitive areas where you probably had no idea you needed to build some discipline and some willpower. So let's take your energy that you already have, because I know you. You're somebody who's unbelievably good at showing up, at putting effort in. And for the most part, it gets results. But when it comes to your relationship with food, maybe your relationship with your body or your weight, it just feels like a complete balls up. So hopefully this live will help you understand why. Because here's the thing, I'll take a bet that you are somebody who has in the past thought that you needed to control harder. You're feeling out of control with food. So the thing to do is to double down on control. That might have looked like calorie counting, macro tracking, portion sizes, meal planning, all of those things. Doubling down on the control actually tends to make the problem worse. I go into that in the Food Freedom Masterclass. Link is below if you haven't watched it yet. I go deep into helping you understand that. So the more you try and control food, the more likely you are to start feeling out of control. And what I want to do today is redirect all that energy that you've put in the past into trying to change your relationship with food and move it in the right direction. So let's step away from control and rigidity and being tough on yourself and being cruel to be kind, and let's move into something new. So these are the 4 counterintuitive disciplines that are going to start moving the needle in the direction of freedom. I would love you to, as I go through this, rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 on where you stand on each one of these disciplines so you can get a sense of where the work is. Because maybe you're good at some of them already, but maybe you're actually a bit lacking in some of them. And then that way you can get some ideas of what needs to be focused on next. And the first discipline, oh, you're going to roll your eyes when I talk about this one. The first discipline of freedom, food freedom, is the discipline of prioritizing you. Okay? I knew you'd roll your eyes. Because you think you are prioritizing yourself, or you're trying to anyway. But here's the thing. Let's have a little look at your day-to-day. And let's have a look at where time for you, time to put work into this, time to put care into yourself, is this. Is it a hard and fast, locked off part of your calendar that is immovable, that you feel unapologetic around, your you time, your self-care, your time to focus on the things that are meaningful for you? How much time is that taking up in your day? And where does it sit? Is it your priority, the thing that comes first, the thing that you barricade? Or is it the thing that you try and squeeze in amongst everybody else? Maybe there's half an hour in the morning, but if there's too many emails, then we'll just scratch that today and we'll put me to one side and we'll get cracking on with all of these other things. Work, family, obligations, events, all the things. Where is the you being prioritized? And maybe you'll say, well, Helen, I come home and then I spend 5 hours scrolling. Yes, because you've put yourself last, and the time that you had left to invest in you, even though you had all these good intentions. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to go to gym. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to phone my friend. But the problem is you're putting that at the end of the day when you're absolutely depleted of energy. And then you're blaming yourself for being lazy when actually you're just exhausted. But imagine if you put those 5 hours at the beginning of the day. Imagine if you had 5 hours every day just to dedicate to you, to this work, to doing whatever you wanted to put your energy, time, and attention into that would move the needle in the direction of your dreams. If you were building a business, you'd be putting time in. You want to change your relationship with food, your body, you want to end decades of yo-yo dieting and shame, it's going to take time, energy, and focus. And oftentimes I meet people and they say, oh, I really, 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 really want to change my relationship with food. But then when it comes to actually scheduling it, no, don't have time. And that's not to be judgmental of that, because I'm absolutely guilty of struggling to put myself first. But here's the thing. It's kind of like saying, I really, 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 really want to learn a language, but I've only got 5 minutes a day on Duolingo, and then being really cruel with yourself when you're not fluent by the end of the month. So when we recognize that actually this isn't something we can just think, oh, I'll just try harder tomorrow. We actually need to put effort and energy into the work of food freedom until it's automatic and easy, until the urges are gone and the food noise is down. There's going to be work that's required. And the best thing you can do is develop the discipline of prioritizing you, not putting yourself last and then wondering why you don't put the effort in or you don't have the energy to do the work. Okay, so prioritize it like you're prioritizing learning a new skill or building a business, and then you will see results, change. So discipline of prioritizing you, it can be very tricky. And I acknowledge for mums and business owners, etc., busy people, as I'm sure you are, this can be extra challenging, but it means it's even more important that you develop that discipline. You can start small with 5 minutes and grow it, but start blocking off time for you when you actually have energy, focus, and your attention is sharp. Not when it's been blown out because you've been putting it on everybody else. Point made. I will not continue on that point. Where are you on a scale of 0 to 10 with the discipline of prioritizing you? I was a horribly low 0. All right, it was a low 1. I'm much better at it now. Still work to be done. All right, the next discipline, again, totally counterintuitive, particularly in diet culture, is the discipline of permission. That means that when you are hungry, not when you're not hungry, but when you are hungry and you are craving something quite specific, are you able to give yourself permission to eat, to A, eat when you're hungry, or do you try and deny it and wait it out and fight it? And B, actually eat what you heard. And that's dead easy when what you just heard just fit into whatever the latest rules and regulations you have in your head about what's allowed. But this is a radical permission slip. Regardless of what it is, or whether it feels good or bad, or whether it's on the party list or off the party list, can you give yourself permission to eat and to eat the thing that you really, really want? Whoo! That's a permission slip that takes a lot of work. And that's where you can move that discipline, not into restriction and control, but into permission and allowing. Oh, that takes discipline. You're going to want to go back to those rules to feel safe. Where do you sit on a scale of 0 to 10? On the discipline of permission. Next up, the discipline of play. The discipline of play. How disciplined are you at being playful? Which means being completely unproductive. I used to think my rest time, my play time was like still productive. I was still doing things. I was exercising, cleaning, fixing. I was listening to podcasts or reading very important books. There was no space for just going offline and doing things that were completely unproductive and might even look, God forbid, lazy to the rest of the world. This is something I'm still working on. And in fact, this week, I took a force of will, the discipline required to put my pen down at 5 o'clock on Wednesday when I had all these shoulds rolling around my head of the things that I wanted to accomplish and didn't. But I knew that if I overrid that if I didn't force myself to go offline, to put the pens down, I would have been useless on Thursday. And I had a huge day on Thursday. And this is where it's a discipline. It can take a force of will to allow yourself play, rest, fun time, downtime, being unproductive, not doing anything, but other than something you just have fun with. The discipline of play, it's sorely lacking in most of the people that first reach out to me. And then the last discipline is the discipline of positive self-talk. So positive self-talk isn't fake it till you make it, rainbows and unicorns. Positive self-talk is when you catch you're heading into a real negative, self-critical, abusive spiral up here, and be able to catch that and turn it back into something positive, empowering, encouraging. That doesn't mean wishy-washy, saying nice things that you don't mean. It means finding a way to coach yourself effectively into a place that inspires you to take action, or is at the very least kind with things that maybe haven't gone the way you planned. Firm compassion, that's a phrase that I think of a lot. You're parenting yourself through positive intention. I believe in you, you've got this. Come, we can do this. Let's move. Not, come on, you lazy ass, get out of bed. Or the kindness of saying, you don't need to be so cruel. Mistakes happen, etc. I could go on for hours. I won't. How disciplined are you in catching when that thinking is starting to go negative, despairing, hopelessness, cruel, abusive, and turning it into something that actually inspires you to be kind and take action that is in service of where you're headed. That's a discipline of not allowing yourself to just go into, I've just got to abuse myself. I'm going to abuse myself into self-love. It doesn't work that way. All right. So the discipline of being of positive self-talk, at the very least, neutral self-talk. Where do you sit? Scale 0 to 10. If you're doing this with me and you would love to put in the comments your ratings, I'd love to hear them, because maybe you found there's some areas that you really kick ass at, but some areas are abysmal. And I know that some of what I'm talking about sounds like it doesn't have any, it's not connected to your relationship with food, but trust me, it is. Because if you're critical with your thoughts, you'll likely abuse yourself with food or spiral into food to escape those thoughts. If you're not giving yourself a place to play, then food becomes the only way you have fun, etc., etc., etc. So it is all connected. Trust me, trust me, trust me. If you don't know, watch the masterclass. It'll all make sense. So the disciplines that you thought you needed were actually probably moving you in the wrong direction. Smashing out a workout when you're exhausted is probably counterintuitive. It'll make you further exhausted and more likely to overeat and binge later. You actually need the disciplines that are softer, lighter, kinder, slowing things down, going easy on yourself instead of hard. It's the exact opposite of what you think you need. The exact opposite. And I promise you, you're not going to spiral into doing nothing and being too kind on yourself. Not you. I spend most of my coaching time trying to help people be kind and slow things down and take rest, not the opposite. And I'm good at calling somebody out if they're being a bit lazy or they're just not putting in the work. I don't mind. I'll do that. But for the most part, it's the opposite. And I bet you need these disciplines way more than you need the discipline of go, 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 push harder. It's usually like, go softer. All right. That's it. Those are my 4 disciplines for you. I hope you've enjoyed that. And hopefully it gives you a little bit of a sense of, oh my gosh, I'm not broken. I'm actually not undisciplined. I've been doing this all wrong. And I've been using my focus, my energy when I have it, when it's not being deployed on everybody else, pushing into things that are probably making the problem worse. And maybe it's inspired you to build the disciplines of prioritizing yourself, even if it's for 5 minutes, of permission, of play, and of positive self-talk. And if it has, then I've done my job. And if those things sound like so impossible to achieve because you've spent a lifetime doing the opposite, or you'd really like some structure and accountability and support in deploying those disciplines, in learning the tools and the skills that will move the needle so you can take your control back, not with more willpower, but with your limited resources of energy directed in the right place, then I would love to support you on that journey. So book a call. The link is in the description. We'll chat for 30 minutes and we'll talk about how coaching might look. Or maybe you can join the Food Freedom Fighters, phenomenal community of beautiful individuals all on the same journey, learning the same skills, trying to deploy this discipline, same as you. We'd love to meet you. I'd love to support you. So links are in the description. I will be away next Freedom Friday, so there will be no live. But if you have questions, challenges, frustrations that you'd like to share with me in the hopes that I can help you break through something where you feel a bit stuck or move through an event that's coming up, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them in the next Freedom Friday live. So I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a wonderful weekend, Freedom Fighter. May you begin practicing these disciplines so you can take your control back and start to have a beautiful, beautiful relationship with food. You were not born out of control. You were not born with compulsive eating. You were born free. I just want to help you get back there as quickly as I can. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time when we're back for Freedom Friday Live.